This is the second installment of people that I want to talk to, and one of the people that I want to talk to is the guy who's behind one of my favorite blogs. It's called Shoemoney.com, and it's Jeremy Shoemaker, who joins me live. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing good, Mark. How are you doing?
Excellent. First of all, thank you for taking the time. For those people that aren't familiar with your blog, tell everyone exactly, basically what it is that you do on Shoemoney.com.
It's kind of the best way to describe it. It's like the diary of somebody who tries to make a living online.
Right.
It's really the best way I can describe it. I talk about failures and, some crazy things that I've gone through, and, that's how it started, was really just my opinions from dealing with companies based on real experiences.
You, reading your blog from day to day and going through some of the archives, it is kind of half technical manual and half editorial.
Yeah, I really never wanted to be a news site where it breaks news. Lately, it's been, sometimes I'll post more news just because, companies see the audience and want some exposure. So sometimes and it's neat to break, a new product coming out or something like that. But it's originally was completely editorial, and lately has been changing a little bit.
It is consistently in the top 25 Technorati. We were just talking about it. You have anywhere between 15 and 16,000 subscribers to your daily feed, and that bounces around based on activity. Did you know when you started it was going to be? It was going to support you and your wife and your two kids?
Actually, it really doesn't.
Oh,
we have 6 corporations.
Oh, wow.
Shoemoney.com has kind of evolved as. I don't know how much you want to know, but basically I started a site that got really big really fast in the mobile industry.
Okay.
And
what was that one?
It's called NextPimp.com, which is NEXTPIMP.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've read about that on your blog, of course.
Yep. That was I say we, but it was me for a long time.
Right.
So I built a site that was basically around people uploading their own ringtones and their own wallpapers that would be correctly formatted for cell phones. And so I started that site in the early 2000s, actually, while I was working for some of these companies. And, and it just, lucky for me, right place at the right time, all of a sudden ringtones and stuff became really, really popular.
Yeah, it was what everyone wanted.
Right. So then I had a lot of experience because I had to monetize that traffic, and that demographic is probably the hardest, or one of the hardest to monetize, because it's mostly urban, mostly younger. So I've had to find ways to monetize it, and I did it through AdSense, donation, contextual revenue. I tried everything, affiliate stuff, and that's what really got me started in making money online, or at least being profitable at it.
Gotcha.
So then I started writing about my experiences on Shoemoney.com, and also just giving advice on forums, and then people would read about what I'd say. And, I never really revealed the NextPimp thing until about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, with that AdSense picture and stuff. I always kept everything really guarded because I was so nervous about putting myself out there. But it got to the point where, everybody was like, this guy's full of it. He's never done anything, and I was like, well, and then one day I threw that out there, and then there was no going back. So
let's talk about the check, because really this is this is what makes you a blogging rock star, in my opinion. This is what really, you say, the people that I know that visit these kind of blogs and go to these kind of sites, you say Shoemoney.com and they say the check.
Right.
And it's a Google AdSense check for what is the total?
It's like $139,000, I think.
Hey, tell me how it came about, and then that's got to be one of the things that you're most known for.
Definitely, and it's somewhat disappointing, but at the same time, it's really cool.
Right.
It's been used in keynote speeches that I've gone to, and I'm just amazed. And I see it on so many websites and so much stuff. But it's really, and a lot of people say it's very inspiring to know that that can be done, and it was done. I went from making nothing to making that, every month.
That's amazing.
And then just up from there when we found other forms of monetization, but. Yeah, that check really, I wrote a post about it just not too long ago, the real story, and it's under one of the most viewed posts.
Okay.
That was like the story behind it. And that was like kind of, I didn't even talk about the site, I just talked about everything when it happened. And basically it was on NextPimp.com, and it was when Sprint had acquired Nextel. And I don't know if Nextel just lost their mind and dumped their budget on Google AdWords or what, but our clicks went from $2 a click, which is pretty common, to all the way up to $10-11 per click.
Wow!
And that for that month, yeah, it was pretty insane. I actually post a screenshot.
Okay.
If people are interested, they can see that it actually has I got permission from Google because shortly after, and I posted the check not too long ago, and then Google and some of the conferences contacted me and asked me if I would speak and wanted to know, if I would be more open to talk about, because they don't have a lot of people that will disclose exactly how they did it and stuff like that. And I was like, sure, what the hell? And so I started doing these conferences and speaking, and actually got permission from them to disclose all my statistics on with screenshots, because you can't do that without their permission. But yeah, the check is definitely, it's kind of weird because I'll be introduced to Jeremy Shoemoney, people see my company logo and stuff, and then somebody will say something about the check, and people will go, oh my gosh, I've seen that. And it'll be people I don't even know, or people I went to high school with will email me and be like, hey, I saw this magazine and it had a picture of you with a check, and and it's like the one thing that stood out in their mind in the whole magazine or whatever. It's really, like I said, it's Jason Calacanis gave a speech, who was the basically sold his company to AOL and moved on, blah blah blah. And he's well known in the industry, and he's kind of cocky and stuff. And he gave a keynote speech not too long ago, and he said it was pathetic that I held a check up and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, I didn't make it the most popular thing on my site. It was from 4 years ago. I've actually started and sold companies since then.
Right.
Done significantly more things, but that's probably what I'll always be known for, because that was the last month they actually sent out paper checks for over $10,000. They only allowed bank wires after that.
Oh, wow. So that's something that probably no one will ever see again. You wrote a post about some of your worst business ideas, which is one of my favorite posts. And I mean, some of them are very creative. Like, because I'm the same way. My mind works a mile a minute, and every day my wife's telling me, finish one project, finish one website, finish this before you go on to the next thing. But there was one idea. I think it was your top idea. Like, you called it the worst idea you ever had. I thought it was brilliant, with the free gas.
Yeah.
Tell everybody about the free gas for just a second.
Sure. Basically, I had this idea because it was last summer when gas prices first went crazy, and I said, it would be so cool to be able to give away free gas. So the site was going to give away free gas. I was going to buy. I actually did buy an abandoned gas station that's still sitting. You bought?
So you actually bought the abandoned gas station?
Yeah, we were ready to roll. We're still ready to roll if we could figure it out. Okay, so we'll get to that. I guess after the story, it'll make more sense.
Yeah.
So basically, I bought an abandoned gas station and was going to, find out everything I needed to know. And the concept was we'd give away free gas, but there would be paintball guns stationed around the gas station that would be shooting at people that were getting gas, controlled by people on the internet. So you could actually go to the site and pay $10 PayPal for 20 shots or whatever it was.
Right.
And then you could sit there and control your gun with the camera and shoot people that were getting gas. So, I think it would really work. I mean, I have kind of a geek background. I know how to do servos and all kinds of crazy things, and we could rig it up with a webcam. And, basically just put a webcam on top of a gun, for the most part, on top of a paintball gun. And I was like, we could totally do this. Well, and then I had to present it to, the Lincoln City Council.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not only is there no flying ordnance allowed within city limits, but the whole guns with gas thing.
Yeah, I imagine.
It was really, really not taken very nicely.
Did you talk to anybody that was like, hell yeah, I'll take free gas and get a couple bruises? There was a lot of people. After I made that post, I want to say, since I've gotten probably 1,000 different emails about, I really want to, let's do it in the country, let's do this, and they seem neat, and stuff. I said, if you want to go with it, you go ahead. I'm kind of stuck with this right now. I'm doing so many other things. I think it's a good idea. I think it'll be successful. If you do it, I will write about it. But, I just at this point, I think it's, like I said, it was one of the worst ideas I had. It was a good idea, but, it was bad. Logistically, yeah.
Yeah. It's just, now I'm stuck with an abandoned gas station.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you going to do with it?
Well, there's not a big market right now for a gas station. So.
You can read, of course, all about it. You can see the photo of the check. You can meet Jeremy if you don't know him, and if you do know him, keep going back to shoemoney.com. Jeremy, thanks so much.
Hey, thanks, Mark.